Bhagavane, Nirisa Nisa Bhagavane, Nisa Nisa Mani Bhagavane.
Loving Sai Ram and greetings from Prashanti Nilayam. Recently, I spoke to you regarding Ugadi and the other New Year days that were to immediately follow. I am just back after a brief trip to Whitefield, and during my stay there, I heard what Bhagwan Baba said in his divine discourses on those festival days. Today, I wish to share with you some reflections on those discourses. I shall, of course, try not to paraphrase those discourses since they would anyway be broadcast by Radio Sai. You can hear them directly for yourself without my trying to give you a summary. What I would like to share with you today are my own thoughts as they came to me while I was hearing those discourses. Now, during the year, we celebrate many festivals. We do it as a matter of routine, barely seeing any connecting link between those various festivals, except perhaps at a purely superficial level. In his recent discourses, Swami emphasized that this is not correct. The ancients of India did not fill the calendar with numerous festivals without a proper reason. One should not imagine that on Vinayak Chaturthi day one propitiates Ganesha, on Krishna Jayanti we renew our insurance with Krishna, and so on. As a matter of fact, this is what most people do. Notwithstanding that, such thinking is a grave mistake. All festivals are in celebration of just one God, for the simple reason that there is only one God. What the different festivals seek to do is to direct our attention to the different aspects of this one God. For example, on Ramanavami day, which would soon be with us, we must reinforce our dedication to Sathya and Dharma, for that was what Rama stood for. On Vinayaka Chaturthi day, we must focus on developing our buddhi. On Krishna Jayanti day, we must not only recall the teachings of Krishna as given to us in the Bhagavad Gita, but also how God is the very embodiment of nectarine sweetness, and so on. The lifestyle in ancient India was so designed that every activity, every day, and indeed every moment drew one's attention to God in some manner or the other. On festival days, one typically wears good clothes, sometimes even new clothes, and has a grand lunch, complete with a lot of sweet dishes. In fact, for many, a festival simply means a fabulous meal, and how eagerly they look forward to it. Swami was very critical of such an attitude. He said, "What is the use of wearing new clothes when the inside is dirty?" The new year, and indeed all festivals, must be celebrated not by covering up the dirt inside with new clothes, but by scrubbing the inside clean. Now this raises a question. How does the inside get dirty in the first place? Swami has explained that on many occasions. For example, in the last of the Navaratri discourses delivered in the year 2001, he said, in a sense, you are a combination of the body, the mind, and the Atma, soul or spirit, whatever you call it. If your life is dictated entirely by your body, you then descend to the level of an animal. If you allow your life to be guided by the mind and the body colluding together, then you would end up as a demon. That is not how it should be. The mind must be subservient to the Atma. Taking orders from the Atma, the mind must control the body and senses, directing them on the correct path. During the recent festivals, Swami repeated the same message in a slightly different way. He said that true spirituality meant first destroying the animal and demonic qualities within, next living like a human being should, and finally pulling oneself up to the level of the divine. Shortly before the recent cluster of New Year Day festivals, I believe Swami gave a discourse in Whitefield on the joint family system. Earlier that day, Baba had visited the house of a long-time devotee who is the patriarch of a large joint family. In the olden days, we had in India what is called the joint family system. In a family, the daughters would get married and go off to the houses of their respective husbands. But the sons would all stay together with their father and mother in the ancestral home. Even if the sons were married and had children of their own, they would all stay together. Apparently, it was the same in China. No doubt there were problems with such a family style, but on the whole, the pluses seem to have outweighed the minuses. Today, of course, the joint family system has practically vanished. Maybe some tribes somewhere still follow it, but in India, it is all but extinct. In his discourse, Swami praised the system lavishly, pointing out the many advantages. There is a reason why I am bringing all this up. The human being is like a joint family. As Swami sometimes says, the Atma is like the grandfather, the mind is like the father, and the body is like the grandson. If the human being followed the joint family system within, then the mind would take orders from the Atma, and the grandson, that is the body, would go strictly according to the wishes of the father or the mind. In this case, guided by the Atma, the mind would inquire properly before embarking upon any action involving the body and the senses. These days, people behave as they want, guided entirely by the body and the mind. They call this the exercise of free will. Swami, however, asks, how can you call this free will when the person is completely under the control of the senses and is guided entirely by animal feelings? Elsewhere, Baba points out, the Atma is the divine light with the effulgence of 1 billion suns, and you want to shut it out and live in darkness. Is this sane? But that precisely is what modern man is doing. In his recent discourses, Bhagavan also drew pointed attention to how we waste time. For example, we worry about the future. How does this help? Instead, should we not be doing something so that the future turns out to be the way we want? If we want a good future, then the present must be utilized properly. But is this what we do? No. Swami said that what we do is to spend a lot of time criticizing others. No use at all. We spend a lot of time chasing so-called happiness. Once again, a futile exercise. Some prefer to make a fortune, often by questionable methods. Does happiness lie in money or within us? If money is happiness, then why did Ramakrishna Paramahamsa feel so uncomfortable with money? Does happiness lie in alcohol? If it did, then why do some people spurn it while others relish it? No, happiness is within us. Just as we hang a coat onto a hanger, we attach happiness to the objects that we desire. Swami repeated all this once more for our benefit. We do not give enough attention to what Swami is saying, and he is saying so much for our sake. We just do not bother to reflect on his message or even read carefully the text of his discourses. When I was in Whitefield recently, I got a phone call from a cousin of mine in Singapore. He said that according to the information on the internet, Swami was headed for Kodaikanal on the 19th of April. He asked me if this was true. I was amazed when I heard this. I mean, is this the way time must be spent spreading rumors? I find that people spend an enormous amount of time speculating about Baba's moments than in trying to understand his teachings. As one person in Vrindavan told me, When Swami is in Puttaparthi, everyone here asks, when is Baba coming? After he comes to Brindavan, everyone now asks, when is Swami going to Kodaikanal? When he returns from Kodai, the speculation now shifts to, when is he returning to Puttaparthi? This gentleman then asked me, if people are so busy arranging Baba's travel, when will they find time to recall his teachings and to follow them? Yes, we waste a lot of time without realizing the implications. As Swami told us recently, he has of course done this in the past also. Once this body goes, it will never come back. The body and life come as one indivisible package. Do we fritter this opportunity? Is it for this that God has conferred on us the boon of human birth? Another thing that Swami talked about was gratitude. We all proclaim that we are grateful to Swami for this, that, and so forth. But let us search our hearts. Are we really grateful to God in the true sense of the word? Do we thank Swami for the earth, the sun, the wind, the water, and so on? We never do. We take them all for granted. This only means that we fail to see God in the five elements. If you have heard carefully many of the recent discourses of Baba that have been broadcast by Radio Sai, you would have noticed that the five elements form a recurring theme. The insight he gives into the five elements is absolutely extraordinary. I am no Vedic scholar, but I am prepared to bet that even in the Vedas, the insight that Swami is now giving us cannot be found. This is happening all the time. For example, on the 14th of April, which happened to be the Tamil and the Malayalam New Year Day, Swami spoke about certain events related to the life of Rama that are not to be found in any of the known versions of Ramayana. In fact, Swami has not discussed them ever before. Thus, even though the days and the years might not bring anything new, Swami's discourses always do. Even if he is speaking on a theme familiar to us, you can be sure he will be shedding new light on an old issue. All we must do is to keep our eyes and ears open, and when we have time on our hands, we would do well to spend it on chanting the name so that every cell of the body gets charged with the Divine Spirit. Incidentally, do not think I am giving you any advice. This is what Baba himself said in his recent discourse. Far better it is to chant his name than to send messages about his movements. This is not the message that Swami wants us to spread. Spreading rumors and misinformation in the name of service is not the type of seva that he wants us to perform, however much we may try to justify our actions. Swami says that his happiness increases when he makes others happy. I have personally seen this any number of times, especially on festival days. He would go around distributing this and that, seemingly without an end, and how his eyes would glow with love on those occasions. The bottom line is very clear. If we want to make Swami happy, we must make others happy by seeing Swami in them. And we must make others happy not in the way we imagine. For example, we think we make people happy by keeping them informed of speculations about Swami's movement. This type of alleged service, I can assure you, does not cut much ice with Baba. We must serve others in the way Swami would like us to, in the way Swami is actually serving people. And this automatically rules out acting like self-appointed internet correspondents. Where Swami is concerned, he has clearly spelt out our priorities. With him, it is always the inner net and never the internet. Jai Sai Ram.